Concerned about the dwindling quality of education in the country, the Association of Private Educators in Nigeria, APEN, is taking steps to address the challenge, one of which is its 5th annual conference with the theme Leap, Achieve and Succeed. APEN President Dr. Olufemi Ogunsonwo says the conference is aimed at imparting strategies with which young people can be better equipped to contribute to national development. The Association of Private Educators in Nigeria converged on Eko Hotel in Lagos, venue of its 5th annual conference, with the theme Leap, Achieve and Success. Gathered here are heads of schools and principals and other representatives of over 300 private and public schools who were invited to learn new ways of teaching. The Commissioner for Education, Lagos State, Mrs. Olayinka Oladojoye, who emphasized that the government, private sector and missions have complementary roles to play in advancing education in the country. Selected as a special guest speaker for this year's conference is Chairman, CEO of Channels Television, Mr. John Momo. He was represented by the company's secretary, Mrs. Adeola Olumeyo, who pointed out the importance of education as a bedrock of development for any nation.
Teach the young how to dream, how to believe, to be strong, cheerful, plan and do. Help them hold their heads in the clouds, yet with feet firmly on the ground. Ignite their spirits, imprint a desire to care for others, and to leave each person better than when they first met them. Fan the flames of healthy competition, insist on using common sense, and extol the virtues of hard work.
The association also rewarded Channel CEO for the change he has brought to television broadcasting in Nigeria. The president of the association, Dr. Olufemi Ogunsonwo, speaks more about the significance of such a conference.
The main objective of the association is to bring about a change in the declining educational system in Nigeria. And that's why we have a theme song, Change, and to bring about transformation, to restore education to its former glory, to raise the bar so that it's at par with global standards.
I think we're a bit comfortable in our educational system, and the whole thing behind the theme was so that we can go beyond our comfort zone to understand that education is a journey that will enable us to be able to impact knowledge on people, a journey where you can use different methods of teaching to impact knowledge.
At the end, the organizers were optimistic that the knowledge gained by the participants will impact greatly on their students. Hip-hop artist Lamborghini led a host of other celebrities, including Joke Silva, saxophonist Yemi Sax, a dancehall star General Pipe, and others on a campaign against indiscriminate use of illicit substances. The campaign, in conjunction with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, kicked off at the Obalende Bus Park through St. Gregory Street and Awolowo Way, then to Igboshire Road, before heading back to the starting point. And during the walk, participants danced and shared handbills with enough information on the hazards of drug abuse.
I needed everybody to come together on the platform. You know, it's more easier if you bring everybody together like this than going individually. Now, when we bring everybody together like this, it's easier for them to go back to their various society, locality to talk about it.
As the message is going like this, it's reaching out to different, group in the society. You understand? But the most important thing is, rather than the normal classroom lecture thing, you understand? We are not dancing and passing the message.
The Cross River State government has begun the construction of a 105-bed Calabar Specialist Hospital, scheduled for commissioning in March 2015. Located within the Summit Hills, the project is geared towards the realization of the state's dream to provide first-class, world-standard healthcare to indigents in the state in partnership with the UCL Healthcare Services.
The glory of the Almighty God.
At the groundbreaking event for the 105-bed specialist hospital in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, the state governor, Liye Limoke, explained that when the hospital is completed, it will not only transform the medical landscape of the state, but will also ultimately enlarge the profile of healthcare delivery in the region and the country at large.
This project becomes that project at the top of our pyramid that cascades down to make sure that what we achieve at the primary healthcare level and at the secondary healthcare level would also be available at the tertiary level. So this particular project, like I said, is going to offer a number of service areas and would also ensure, as we have provided, that even cross-riverians who can't afford the cost would have access because of the nature and structure of the transaction.
According to the governor, the healthcare sector in the country has been criticized over the years and is plagued with a series of challenges related to professional competencies, infrastructure, operational and managerial capacities, which the hospital, when completed, intends to correct.
In the course of all of this, we'll be able to put in place a health insurance scheme that works. Partnering with the managers of the hospital facility and, of course, those who have the necessary expertise, so that people who are on the health scheme, on the health insurance scheme, can benefit from the services of these facilities. One of the beauties of these facilities is that it's designed to have a large outpatient department.
The cost of the hospital is put at 6.4 billion naira, with the state government's capital contribution set at 3.2 billion naira, while the balance of the financial requirement will be sourced by UCL Healthcare Services Limited as its equity contribution in a public-private partnership.
To health matters now, vesico-vaginal fistula is a medical condition which occurs in young girls of 11 to 15 years of age when blood supply to the tissues of the vagina and the bladder is restricted during prolonged obstructed labor. And as a result, many of the victims pass urine uncontrollably, leaving them incapacitated in their day-to-day activities. In this next report, we take a look at what young women in Nigeria suffer as a result of the condition and the efforts of government in helping them live normal lives.
Statistics from the United States Agency for International Development shows that Nigeria has the highest rate of vesico-vaginal fistula, VVF, in the world, with between 400 and 800,000 women living with the condition and about 20,000 new cases occurring annually. This is what prompted the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development to organize a meeting to brainstorm on how to reduce this trend as well as provide care for those living with the problem.
The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development has responsibility of focusing on the social aspect of VVF, being the rehabilitation and reintegration of patients, mobilizing support and advocating for redress of the issues that bring about VVF, while the Federal Ministry of Health deals with the health aspects such as the repairs.
To a large extent, any woman who suffers from the vesico-vaginal fistula condition is ostracized from her community, leaving her unable to live a normal life like her peers. Medical experts listed poverty and lack of awareness as major causes for the increase in VVF cases, especially in the northern part of the country.
What brings the BBFs is level of poverty and the ignorance also. And as long as these things are still existing within the society, also the BBFs is existing because people are ignorant to go to the hospital. People are poor also to take the health care services of themselves. So by the time they came to the health facility, you'll find that it is too late for them to be in time.
While the cases of women with the condition increases by 20,000 annually, it automatically leads to the overstretching of medical facilities, especially those established to cater for the needs of vesico-vaginal fistula.
If you take like the region, the Northeast geopolitical zone, we have about 6 states. And among these 6 states, it's only in Bauchi State where you will see a well-organized center that is fully dedicated to the surgeries or the care of these patients with VVF. So that means the other 5 states, they don't have a center that is dedicated for that. And that is not enough to cater for the patients that are in the region.
Indeed, women who suffer from this gynecological challenge need treatment, rehabilitation, and empowerment. Many believe that these 3 steps should be taken by the government at all levels to give the women a sense of belonging in the society.
Still ahead on the news at 10, the CBN says necessary mechanism is in place to protect the economy from external shocks. That will be in business news. Do join us again.